Hey guys, today's May 1st of 2016 and I want to go over the pound dollar using a technique I use called the Gann grid, but if you really want to get specific, it's probably called the poor man's Gann grid, and I'll explain why as we pull up the chart. So in the meantime, know that this is an educational video using a real-time Forex market using the pound dollar and the Gann technique, and please pause the video and read the video disclaimer. Some of you know I used to post a lot of videos. Lately I've just been more blogging and posting just the pound dollar. I do trade the majors only, except for the euro dollar. It's just been in a choppy range, and it's just been consolidating. But right now as we speak, it looks like it could break out to the upside and the dollar to the downside. So I'll be watching that. Once that happens, I will probably jump back into trading the euro. So in the meantime, this is where I post my blog, my ideas just on the pound. Lately I've just been liking the pound, and just wanted to show you that I've been active. If you want to just check it out, feel free. Let's get into the goodies. Okay, so this is the pound dollar weekly chart. A lot of folks have been saying, is it necessary for me to scale my chart? The answer is yes. Now, is there an alternative way to get around that? The answer is yes. And this is where I call, and this is what I like using, is the Gann grid, but the poor man's version, like silver and gold. Some folks can't afford gold at, I don't know, $12.65 or whatever an ounce. You could go to silver. That's the poor man's gold. $17 an ounce, wherever it was. I don't know where it's now. So this is the alternative. Okay. And I've done a video on this on the euro, and it's been a while. You can look it up. WD Gann, Michael S. Jenkins, I guess Gann grid or maybe euro technique. I can't remember what I call the title of the video, but you'll see it if you look at my my video history on YouTube. But I guess it's time for another market and do this and keep it fresh for people to pick up and learn and try it out and test it and see how it works on your trading strategies. So this is the top. It's a 1, 2, 3. Normally I try to work my way from each top down and see what happens. I mean, you could, we're in a downtrend. I mean, really, if you really want to get fractal and crazy, you normally start from the top and work your way to here and then here, and then do the low. And I might probably if it was me, let's see, let's really show you the big deal. This is 20 years of the pound. I would do a Gann grid from here. I would do a Gann grid from the lowest point that it's been in the last 20 years. I would do a Gann grid from here, and I would do a Gann grid from here. So these three spots, what I'm about to show you, I would do and save them as different charts and just see where price is going within this point, this point, this point, this point. If prices come up here, you could probably use this too if you wanted to, but the more important one would probably be within this time frame would be this one, and this one. Once this low is taken down, then you might probably lean more and see what's going on with price action from this point of this low here. So those are the way I would do it, at a fractal level, and you could continue going even more fractal at at small time frames. But for this video purpose, I'm just going to show you this swing right here. So this is what you would do. It is true you need to scale your charts if you're gonna use any kind of geometry, the way Gann did it. But a lot of people, one, don't know how to do it. Two, they're lazy, and if you don't do it right, nothing's gonna really line up, and everything is gonna be kind of off. So a way around that is by using what Gann and Michael S. Jenkins calls is the impulse waves, and other people call it too. It's just so many terms that people kind of just copy from each other, but it's pretty much this is the first impulse wave. So I am focusing on this right here. This is where we at. The downtrend started from here, from July 15 around there. I mean, yeah, July 15 of 2014, and it's just been going down. We went up with a retracement, fail, and going down here, and now we put a low on the 29th of February, and now it's trying to show like it wants to go higher. Take a trend line, take that high, put a low right there. That's your first impulse wave. The next thing you do, you take a retracement, and my trading software is Thinkorswim. It calls it Fibonacci Retracements, but I don't use the Fibonacci numbers. I use the percentage numbers: 12.5, 25, 37.5, 50, 62. Whatever rocks your boat. If you like the Fibonacci, that's fine. I used to use the Fibonacci. There's nothing wrong with it. I just like more percentage levels. It's just a preference. So just because I have it doesn't mean you need to have it. It's just whatever you like. The next thing you want to do, this is the first impulse, and it retraced back up to do a wave 2. What you need to do is take the time ratio, and pretty much you're going to go across. So the key here is, put this here for now. You see how I have mine color coded? The important parts within these ratio is the 25, the 50, the 75, and the 100. And in between the 75 and the 50 is the 62.5, which could be the 61.8, or the 38.2. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just a little different. But you get what I'm saying. These are the most important ones. And actually, maybe this one I should just change it to that one. Save it as a default. So you kind of see the balance area. You want to take the 25 and line that up on the first impulse low. So pound shot down. You want to take the 25% and line it up right there. That's the key. Get the high, run a trend line. Well, now when you're going to go across, you line that 25. Maybe I could open it up a little more, just to get it at least tighter. So this is the low right here, right? So this is, I want to line that 25. So I come over here, and every trading software is different. That looks pretty close. Boom, right there. So I got the first impulse at the 25, and you can see that it hit the 50 here, and it failed in 2 weeks. It couldn't get over, and then it came down, and then once it hit the 37.5, it flushed down. Try to retrace it, fail, you get the picture. Right here was the 50%, and it kept going a little more, and now this is where we're at right now, and we're above that low, which is what, the 14564, and now we're hovering above it. The next thing you want to do is take, you could continue popping it here and going down, you know, I like, because it's just easier, you take this one and you just duplicate it. So now I just move it from here. I don't have to like you understand, repivot it here and keep, I could use the same one since it's already pivot. The only thing now here, since I have this to lock on snap mode, I just put none because I don't want it to snap to the candles now. I want it to just line up where the grids are. So that's pretty much close right there. So that's the 50%. Same thing. I just duplicate it, I keep going, and then I go to the 75%. That's there. And then I duplicate it, and then I go to the end. This is the big kahuna. This is your 45 within the poor man's Gann grid. I changed that to green. Keep it all consistent. There you go. 25, 50, 75 squared. 45 right there. And I could continue and, you know, put that one here. The 25, you go up. Let me just continue. So like that, you kind of get the swing of things. Then this will go over here. Right there. You know, if this continues going higher, I keep, you know, putting those. But if you just want to get it done, just continue going here, you know, putting it there, duplicating that one, putting it up here, and that's it. So it's 0, 25, 50, 75, 25, 50, 75, 0, 45. And if you want, you could cross that over here. You get crazy, but this is normally how I do my Gann grid, that I don't have to scale. Now look at what happens. Look at the chart. It's moving with the price. It's locked in. Whatever happens, it's locked in. None of this is going to shift. None of this is going to move. It's locked in with the impulse, with the imprint of this first wave right here. Now looking at it and analyzing this, you can see that now it's above here. This is the 1 by 1, the 2 by 1, three by 1, and the 4 by 1. One by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. Now you can see that we're right here, you know, and it could continue going higher, and it could find resistance right here. So this is an example as of the poor man grid. And then I would save this and have this named July 15, 2014 Gann grid pound dollar high. And this would be this version. And I will always come and just peep and see where price action's at, and see what this what happens with price action hits these 62.5, and see if it hits this angle, and see if it gets above, you know, in the future if we get above this angle. If it's struggling with this angle, chances are it's going to retrace, and it's not as strong to get over the 1 by 1, which is the 45. So let's delete all this. Do you understand? That'll be one Gann grid. Let's close all this. Let's delete all this. Let's delete all this. Let's delete all this. So I will have a version of here, and then you go fractal. Then I will build another one from this high. First thing you do, impulse. You get the impulse first. Well, now I gotta get my snapping grid on. First you get the impulse. Okay. Next thing you do, you get the retracement. You can see it's struggling at the 37.5, just at 46.31, and then right now it's kind of like, I think it's it's definitely below it. So at 146.13. So you can see where you're at. 50% will be right here, that 48.90. Next thing you do, you get the time ratio extension. And I'm going to put this over here. You want to align the 25% right at this low of February the 29th. So I got to move this a little further down and get my pointer and just pull it right here and actually keep going right there. Is this the low? I think it's this one. I think I got the wrong one. There we go. And that one, yeah. So now I go back over here and I want to align that as close as I can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's lined up. And then the next thing I do, I want to duplicate this one and go to the 50, the 75, and the 100, which will be my 45, which will be my one by one. So duplicate trend line. I'll get that and move it, but then I have to, well, maybe I don't have to disable my snap, and then we go right here. Duplicate that, or create another one, however your software works, doesn't matter. The key is just to line them all up. Duplicate that, and this will be the one by one. This would be the line in the sand. This I normally change to match the 50% green. So you see it's right here, the midpoint. So as you can see right now on the pound dollar on the weekly, it respects that 45 one by one. You see it kissed it right there and fail, and this hasn't even, what's interesting is that this hasn't even happened in the future, and look, it already is respecting this line. So you see how these could work out for you. Is this one thing that you just use and you trade off of this? No, this is a system. You want to see how price action is flowing within the grid. You have to have other confirmation indicators or analysis or systems to confirm all this. This is just to give you an idea, navigating the pound dollar is navigating where is it at. You can see right now we're failing here, and you don't have to scale this. It's already locked in. You're locked in with the imprint of price on the impulse down. It's having a tough time right here at the 37.5%, and it's having a tough time right here at this angle, which is the 3 by 1 right here. This is the 4x1. So that's it. I don't want to take too much of your time. And you'll do it, you know, if price, the next step you would do it here. And I already have this, but I'll create it. But, you know, and you'll finish it. You'll put, you know, this one here at the 25, the 50, and the 75. So let's all delete this. So you see right now, you'll save this and you'll call it July I think it was the 18th that it made a high. I can't remember. Or you would call it, you know, July 15 weekly chart pound dollar high. And you'll save this and you'll look at this one and you look at the July one of 2014 and just see where the pound dollar is price action is navigating through the grid. And you can see that most of the time these angles, these Gann angles within the grid, could become support or resistance. So let's all delete this right here. Let's delete this here. Let's delete this here. Let's delete this right here. Let's delete this right here. So you would do it here, here, and then you would do it at the current low. So if you can remember, there was resistance right here when you had this Gann grid set up here. Now we're going to go on the current low, and you would do the trend line. And this one is a little different because this is going to be a smaller box, because you really can use this one, but you could use this one if you want, but it's going to be kind of tiny. So what I recommend, since you're still at the current low and it's forming its thing, you might want to go and do the daily, and that's what I have. I don't have it on the weekly. I have it on the daily, but you could try and experiment and see these angles. Where would it, you know, resistance would be. I'll leave that up to you since you probably have time to do that. So let's do see, this is better. Then you do the daily. And it's all fractal, so it will all relate. Impulse wave. This is the first impulse wave, which is March the 18th. Then this is now on the uptrend. You can see that on the weekly was going down, and now we're kind of set up bottom here, temporary bottom. It could probably be the bottom. You would do the retracement. Wait a minute. I think I did this wrong. Yeah, okay. You would do the retracement now. Right here. And then you would do... Actually, you could do this. Let's do it this way. There we go. Nope. Next thing is your ratio, time ratio. Nope. You want to get the low. And I'll put this here. You want to get the 25% to line up here. This was your first impulse. You can see that here, this was an impulse, and then it shot down, what, 1, 2, 3 days, 3 bars, 1, 2, 3, and then shot back up. But then here it came down, couldn't take out the high, and pushed down even lower. So this would be a good first impulse. Next, you want to do get the 25% right there. Line that up as best as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't got to kill yourself. Just as easy as it's close. Next thing you want to do, you want to duplicate it or create other ones. And the ones you put it on, 25, 50. The 75, and now I have to disable my snap because it's going to want to lock into one of those candles, highs or lows or whatever. Right there. Duplicate that one. Right there. This is your 45. This is your 1x1 Gann grid. This I normally change to green. There you go. So now, and you could continue if you wanted to see what price was doing. You could duplicate this one, and you could put it right there. Duplicate this one, put that one right there. You can see how interesting. If that's why I don't wait till like, oh, price is not going down. Well, I'm not gonna put these angles because prices are up here. No, look, if you would have had from that first impulse, you would have seen that this is a great opportunity to buy. Right here, this angle. This is your 1x4, 1x3, 1x2, 1x1, 2x1, 3x1, and then this will be your 4x1 right here. Duplicate it. Put that right there. Now, you don't have to scale this. This is locked in. This ain't going nowhere. Prices will continue moving and these angles will stay the same because you're going by the impulse wave. And that's your Gann grid, poor man's version of it. You could go to 3 months and it's locked in. You could go to, a year. You could go into like a 3-year weekly. And it's not moving. It's all, maybe not on the weekly because this was set for a daily. So you can't do it on the weekly. You could just do it on, 4 years daily and it's still locked in. You could go to a 12-hour. Maybe it shifts a little bit. But you can see it still kind of holds on. Let's see, 4-hour. It's a little off. This is the because it normally locks in for the daily. But I use this just more on the daily stuff. That's why on daily printing of price and the chart, it's not going to change. When you go into small time frames at 30 minute chart, you can see that it's close, but this would be close because this won't move, but the angles maybe shift a little bit. But look at that. It's just finding the 1x1, and it's just finding support. It's just trailing that 1x1. It was trailing. It was just finding support there. Support. It popped up, came down, hit this thing here, and it's still going. It's still going, and it's what angle is this? The 1x2. It's now finding support on the 1x2, and it's already over here 466.9. That's on the 30-minute chart, 15-day. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to show you. If you wanted to do the Gann grid, this is the way for you to do it without you having to scale your chart to it. And you could do this on the daily, on the weekly, and the monthly. And if you like trading the the 1 hour or the 4 hour, I know a lot of guys like trading the 4 hour, you could do the same thing. Just find that low, right here, and everything will lock into the 4 hour. So every time you look at the 4 hour, it'll always be the same. Hope this helps. I'll keep you posted on the pound dollar, and make some pips.